Mathematics for Computing Professionals, Specimen Examination, Question 10. A machine produces components with lengths x that are normally distributed with a mean of 60 and a variance of 100. Part A. This expression means find the probability that a component chosen at random will have a length greater than 70. Before we answer the question, let's just remind ourselves about normal distributions. A normal distribution has a mean of mu and a standard deviation of sigma. 34% of the population resides in this region, 14% of the population resides in this region, and 2% of the population resides in the tail there. These are approximations, but they're good enough for what we're doing in these questions. So in this particular question, we have a mean of 60 and a variance of 100. The standard deviation is equal to the square root of the variance, which means that we can redraw the graph to look like this. Mean of 60, standard deviation of 10, so 60 plus 10 is 70. The question says, what is the probability of x being greater than 70? Well, that's this region plus this region here, which is 14% plus 2%, which is going to be 16%. So, in answer to the question, the probability of x being greater than 70 is 0.16 or 16%. Part B. What is the probability that x will be less than 55? 55 is here, so we're going to get 2% plus 14%, that's 16%, plus a bit less than half of this region. This is 34%, so half will be 17%. So if we said 16%, then we would get an estimate of 32%, and the correct answer is actually 31%. But 32% is good enough for this sort of problem. So the probability that x is less than 55 millimeters will be 0.31 or 31%. Part C. What is the probability that x is greater than 50 and less than 80? Well, this is a nice easy one. It's greater than 50 and less than 80, so it's that region there. So we've got 34% here, 34% here, so that's 68%, plus another 14, so that's 82%, isn't it? Okay, 82%. So the probability of x being between 50 and 80 millimeters is 0.82 or 82%. Part D. What is the probability that the component is less than 58% long? If the question said what's the probability of it being less than 60, the answer would be 50%, because it would be all of this region here. 58 is obviously a little bit less than 60, so it's going to be a bit less than 50%, so I don't know, 46% or something. I say 46 because the curve is dropping off quite quickly there. Okay, it's actually 42%, so 46 would have been good enough for this problem. So the probability that the component will be less than 58 millimeters long is 0.42 or 42%. Part E. Specification is 65 plus or minus 10 mil. What proportion of the production will fall outside the specification? 65 plus or minus 10 means that we're going to go from 55 to 75. So we're going to get slightly more than half of 34% from that region. We're going to get 34% from that region, and we're going to get slightly more than half of 14% from that region. So half of 34 is 17, plus 34 is 51, plus half of 14 is 7, so that's 58. So it's going to be about 60%, isn't it? Okay, the actual answer is 63%, so 60 would have been close enough. So the probability of the component falling between 55 and 75 millimeters is 0.63 or 63%.